Hey BookTube, here's a book haul. I'm Jen and I talk about audiobooks, but today I have a bunch of print books that I've ordered that I thought I would share with you. They came from Book Outlet. This is the big box, and I haven't been all that anxious to get into this, which is kind of unusual. Normally, you know, when something comes in the mail, it's a big package, I'm like, oh, I can't wait, I can't wait. And with this one, I knew it had some books in it that actually I ordered them because they're Christmas presents. And so I wouldn't have normally ordered anything from Book Outlet because I have enough books. I just don't need to have any more books. But I thought, you know, if I'm going to order these anyway for family members, then maybe I can throw in a couple for me too. How could I not do that? I mean, really, seriously, how could I resist? Okay, first one is Orson's got card. This is Past Watch, The Redemption, which is part of a series, I'm pretty sure. And it is for my son-in-law because he loves Orson Scott Card, and so does my daughter. So that's that one. And then In a World Just Right. This is by Jen Brooks. And I'm pretty sure that I've had this one on my wish list for Book Outlet for a while. And this is about a boy who can dream new realities into being. And so he's in high school and he's in love with a girl, and so she doesn't know he's alive, so he dreams a new future with her in it. And so that should be interesting. I mean, I think that's why the cover is like it is. So yeah, that intrigued me. Voices of Dragons by Khoury Vaughn. I love Khoury Vaughn. I love her short stories, and this apparently is YA, and it's not a very big book. And it's about a girl. It says, when modern technology clashes with ancient monsters, 17-year-old Kay and her unlikely dragon friend are caught in the middle. So that should be a cute story. And I don't think it's available on audio. I don't think that In a World Just Right is either, which is why I picked them up in print. So yeah, this I think is going to be really good because I really do love Khoury Vaughn. More stuff for the kids for Christmas. This is Earthfire, which is the first Formic war 100 years before Ender's Game, The Battle Begins, by Orson Scott Card. So this, I think, is part of another series, loosely connected with Ender's Game. The Gate Thief, again by Orson Scott Card, another part of a series. I don't know, they just asked for them. So when I saw them, I got them because they were cheap. Gatefather, which I think is part of the Gate Thief series. Again, I don't know. It's by Orson Scott Card, and my son-in-law and my daughter both wanted it. Dreams of the Golden Age. This is, again, by Khoury Vaughn, and this is just a YA story about a girl with powers. Beyond that, you can read the synopsis on Goodreads, but yeah, I don't want to sit and read the whole thing for you now, but it's just about a teenage girl and her superpowers. And yet more Orson Scott Card. This is Earth Awakens. This is again from the first Formic War, so it's part of that other Earth of Fire series, and then this is Earth Awakens, so Orson Scott Card and Aaron Johnston. Time Salvager by Wesley Chu. This I've had on my radar, and I actually have this on audio, but I didn't like the narrator at all. This narrator is just way too dramatic and overpronounces words, and yeah, I just didn't care for it. So I really thought the story sounded fabulous though, because it's about time travel and you can tell fugitives, and yeah, it just sounded really good. So now I can read it in print. The Weight of Feathers. This is by Anne-Marie McLemore, and this just sounded too good to pass up. It is about, it's magical realism, and it's about two young people. I don't know if they're teenagers or not, but they are part of a circus troupe. Each one is part of a circus family, and it seems to me, if I remember correctly from the synopsis, that it's kind of a Romeo and Juliet sort of situation in that their families don't get along, and so they have to come together. But it's set, you know, against the backdrop of the circus, so it should be really good. I Remember You. This is by Kathleen Davitt Bell, and this is something I'd had in my cart, like on my wish list for a long time at Book Outlet, and so I, it got cheaper and cheaper, so I picked it up. It's about a girl and a boy. It's YA. It's about a girl and a boy, and the boy knows the future. So I don't know how that's going to play out, as if he has to change it because he knows it, and if he can change it, and all that kind of thing. So it's that whole, dimensional time travel idea. So I love that kind of stuff. So this should be good. I don't think it's out on audio. I think I've checked, but if it is, I'll note that below. And last one is My Unexpected Everything. This is by Morgan Matson, and it's Morgan Matson. She writes big books. This is a big, it's like a 500 plus page book. Yeah, like 500 and I want to say about 20. So the only thing I've read by her has been Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. And I liked that pretty well. My Unexpected Everything, and then Since You've Been Gone. I have Since You've Been Gone behind me on one of my shelves, my TBR shelves. So I haven't read either of them, but it is available on audio. I forget who narrates it, but I'll put it below. And yeah, everybody loves her. And so YA, contemporary, there's a reason people love her. So I want to know what it is. So that's all for the Book Outlet haul. Now I'll show you some things that I've picked up at Dollar Tree for $1. I found The Fox Inheritance. This is by Mary E. Pearson, the same one that did the Remnant Chronicles, if you know anything about YA fantasy. This is YA sci-fi, and I loved the first book in this series, which is The Adoration of Jenna Fox. So seems like I've listened to the first and the second books, but I haven't listened to the third. Really good story, one to the next, about cloning. Vitro by Jessica Khoury, which is part of a trilogy of books that don't seem like they should be connected at all. The first one is Origin, then there's this one, which is Vitro, and then Kalahari is the third one. Kalahari, I know, is set in the Kalahari Desert, and Origin is set on an island, sort of like the island of Dr. Moreau-ish. It's a remote island where a genetically engineered girl lives, and the whole book is about her. And this one appears to be about another island like the one in Origin, and a girl goes to find her mother. Her mother is on the island, or was last known to be on the island, and so the island has one of those compounds like the one on Origin, and genetically modified people are in there. So I don't know exactly what goes beyond that with regard to the plot, but it's by Jessica Khoury, and I've read Origin, and I really liked it, so I'm interested to read this one. I think it's available on audio too, but I don't know who narrates it, and again, I will put it below. The Uprising by Lisa M. Stasse is, I think it's the third book in a trilogy. But I've seen this trilogy before, and I've wondered if it was any good. It's called the Forsaken Trilogy. Interesting cover, with a, it just looks really interesting to me. So I'm sure it's YA dystopian, and I don't know anything about it beyond that. I couldn't even tell you if it's on audio, but I will note that below if it is. And now I just need to find out about the rest of the series and get my hands on the other two books. Transparent is by Natalie Whipple, and I've had my eye on this for forever. Actually, in Book Outlet, when I've been looking on their website, I've seen this several times. And it's about a girl who's invisible. YA, kind of contemporary / fantasy, because she's invisible. And her dad gets her to commit crimes, and so I'm sure it's got to do with her feeling like that's wrong, and how does she get out from under his thumb and quit committing crimes, and I'm sure it's an interesting plot. So yeah, don't know if it's on audio, but I'll let you know below. And lastly, Christmas with Holly. This is by Lisa Kleypas, and I don't know anything about this author other than I see her everywhere. With regard to chick lit. She's a prolific writer, like a lot of chick lit writers are. Chick lit. This was made into a Hallmark movie, so look for it on the Hallmark Channel. It was previously published as Christmas Eve at Friday Harbor. And actually, I picked that up on audio, and it is on my iPad right now to listen to. It's about a guy who kind of needs to find hope, and a little girl who loses her mother, and I'm not sure how they get connected, but they do somehow. So, yeah, it's probably very sweet. I'm sure that the Hallmark movie is very saccharine, sugary, you know, whatever. I don't know, like they always are. So that's my book haul. If you've read any of these that I have not read, then I would love to know what you think of them. So let me know. And that's it for now from me. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.